पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देगं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सगगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर् गोविंदा सर्वकारण कारणम्। Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita. We finished 44 slokas in the 11th chapter. So that is Viswarupa. So now Arjuna is asking Krishna to forgive him for all the offenses he did, not knowingly, being like knowing, like thinking Krishna is a friend. So whatever he did, so not knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, so Arjuna is asking Krishna to forgive him. Tat kshamaye tvam aham aprameya. So now Arjuna is also asking Krishna, actually, like you forgive me like a friend forgives his friend, like a father forgives the son, or a husband forgives the wife, or wife forgives the husband. So like something like that, Arjuna is actually asking Krishna, you please forgive me. We are also making lot of sinful actions, lot of offenses we are doing every day. We have done so much in the past, we have done a lot, and now we need to stop those things, and we need to stop committing sins. Means it is not possible for us to stop just by force. So because as long as because when we are attached to material sense objects, we will be forced to commit sins. That's what is very important. So we cannot stop that force without surrendering ourselves unto Krishna, because everyone is forced. So like a force which is coming upon me, a force. So we are forced to commit sins. Balad. So that's what Arjuna used the word balad. Balad means force. So in order to stop committing such sins, we need to also get balam. So there is yoga balam. So when we get yoga balam, that is the strength of this yoga. So this Bhagavad Gita. So that means when we study this Bhagavad Gita, we are becoming very strong. Spiritually, we are very strong. We are gaining that yoga balam. When we study this Bhagavad Gita, understand the slokas in this Bhagavad Gita, and when we realize that we are not the body, we are the soul, and Krishna is the super soul, and Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so we are getting the yoga balam. So yoga, many times in the past, I have explained from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that yoga means not affected by anything in this material world. So that's what is called yoga. So in order to ourselves not to get affected by anything in this material world, first of all, we need to have a healthy body, and we need to have a healthy mind. So this body and mind should work together, should help each other. Because if we are not very healthy, we cannot perform this yoga. So that means Krishna is saying that first thing is that you start regulating the food, diet, what we eat, and also the sleep. So that's what is very important. So with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that is going to be possible for the devotees. Because based on the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will be offering everything to Krishna. Of course, we can offer everything which Krishna likes. So that means definitely the food in the mode of Sattva Guna. So that way we are going to get very strong health-wise, or we are going to become very strong. And so that's what Ayu Sattva Bala. Bala means again strength. So we are going to become strong. So that way we can serve Krishna. We can sit straight and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We can focus on the transcendental name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And we can control our mind. So all those things are possible only if we have a very, very healthy body. So otherwise it is not possible for us to control the mind. If we ourselves are very obese and have all kinds of diseases and not able to take care of our health very well, so then how is it going to be possible for us to sit straight and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? So that way, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we can control our eating and sleeping for Krishna. So then we will be able to control our mind. So for this, mind control is also needed to control the eating and sleeping. That's what is very important. We need to know. So it is both are needed. So with the help of the mind, we can control and we have a healthy body. And with the help of our healthy body, we can actually control our mind and we can remember Krishna. So that way, both has to cooperate each other. So that way, this knowledge only is going to help us. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge only is going to help us to follow all the instructions given by Krishna very, very sincerely. So for that, we need to follow all the instructions given by Krishna. So when we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, so Krishna is teaching us very clearly, you regulate everything, regulate all the activities, you perform only the prescribed duties and keep all the abominable activities at a far distance. So, Durenege avaram karma. So, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So, you act with intelligence. Buddhi yukta jahati ube sukrita duskrita. So, tasmad yoga yujjasva yoga karmasu kausalam. So, everything you perform for the sake of yoga. Yoga yujjasva. Yoga yujjasva means to prove that we are equal to the results. To the help of Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we need to perform everything for yoga. Yogaya means for yoga. So that means to achieve the status of yoga. So all such things are possible only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We will be doing our things in the right direction only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's why we are studying this Bhagavad Gita. It's very important knowledge for us. So with the help of this Bhagavad Gita, we know the relationship between body, mind, senses, intelligence, soul, everything we know very well. Indriyani parani ahu, indriyebhya param manaha, manasastu para buddhi, yo buddhi paratastu saha. So we know how the senses in our body are working. Even materially speaking also, scientifically speaking also, we know how all our senses in our body are working. It's all, there are receptors in our body, different types of receptors. Chemoreceptors, mechanical receptors, all receptors are there. Optical receptors. So because of that, we are able to sense. We are able to sense everything in this world. So that's what sensing. So we are able to sense. So when we are able to sense with our senses, so then we are also able to store our experiences in our memory, in our brain. So we are able to keep them, we are able to store them. So, and also we are able to retrieve them. So when we need it, when we need that knowledge, we are able to, it is stored in our memory and we are able to retrieve that knowledge. It's all, our body is like a machine, like a computer. So you store it in your computer, all the files, different directories, like that you store it. So like that only in our brain, in the hippocampus, so it's all getting stored. They are all stored like in different directories, different files, and everything is sorted out, everything is stored there very nicely. And when you want that knowledge, you are able to go and retrieve it. You are able to get it from our from our long-term memory. So that way, our body is like a perfect machine, and it has to work very well so that we can use it very efficiently. So any machine works very well, then only we can use it very nicely. If the machine breaks down, we cannot use it. For example, if we have a car, if you want to go from one place to another place, it's very important. We want to use. We are of course using the car every day. We are traveling, and we need to maintain it. If you don't maintain it, it will break down. So like that, we need to. This body is a yantra. This yantra is a machine. So we need to maintain it. Otherwise, it will break down. So that way, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us all the knowledge to maintain our body, to maintain a peaceful life, to maintain a blissful life. And so all these things are going to be possible by engaging ourselves in Krishna's service. That's what is very important. So if we are very much engaged in Krishna's service, so if we are able to spend all the time wisely in the service of Krishna, so then we will be able to do all these things perfectly, very nicely. So with the Bhagavad Gita knowledge only, we are getting all this knowledge by Krishna's mercy. All these slokas in Bhagavad Gita will clear away all our doubts. Everything is going to be very, very nice in our life. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, it is becoming possible for us. It is Krishna's causeless mercy. Every day we are able to study Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna, in the 10th chapter about Krishna's Vibhuti, we understood. And in the 11th chapter about Krishna's universal form, Viswarupa, also we understood very well. And in the 12th chapter, we are going to understand about the Bhakti Yoga. Krishna is going to list what are all the qualifications. If we have, then we are dearer to Krishna. Sachame Priyaga, like that Krishna says it. He is dearer to me. He is dearer to me. If you have these kind of qualifications, then you are dearer to me. What else we need? We know how to please Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, we are going to study in the 12th chapter when we finish this 11th chapter. And in the last 4-5 slokas, Krishna, each and every sloka, Krishna is saying that at the end, he will be dearer to me, like that. So if we just meet all those qualifications, we will become very dearer to Krishna. That's what we want to become. That's what we want to do. We want to do everything only to become dearer to Krishna. So in the 15th sloka onwards, in the 12th chapter itself has got only 20 slokas. So in the 13th, 14th sloka onwards, in the 13th sloka, Krishna is saying that 13th to 14th sloka, at the end, last sloka, Yo mad bhaktaha same priyaha. So he is my devotee, dearer to me. Yo mad bhaktaha same priyaha. That is the 14th sloka. And in the 15th sloka, Krishna is saying that Mukto yassa chame priyaha. So last line, Mukto, he will be liberated. Yascha me priyaga, he is dearer to me. Then in the 16th sloka, Yo mad bhaktaga same priyaga. In the 16th chapter also, Krishna is saying that he is my devotee, he is dearer to me. Yo mad bhaktaga same priyaga. Then in the 17th chapter, 17th sloka also, Bhaktiman yassa me priyaga. So he is the Bhaktiman. So the devotee is dearer to me. And in the 18th and 19th sloka together, so in the 19th sloka, Bhaktiman me priyo naraka. So he is priyo, is the Bhaktiman, me priyo naraka. He is the dearer to me among human beings. And in the 20th sloka also, Bhaktaste tiva me priyaga. So Bhaktas, Bhakti, Priyaga, Krishna is using repeatedly starting from the 14th sloka to 20th sloka. Every sloka in the 12th chapter, he is dearer to me, he is dearer to me, dearer to me, like that. So if we know very well how we can become ourselves dearer to Krishna, then just follow that, then we will become dearer to Krishna. So that means we just need to understand these slokas, we need to memorize these slokas, and we need to achieve these qualifications. So then we will become dearer to Krishna. But at the end, in the last chapter, when Krishna is finishing this Bhagavad Gita, then Krishna is very clearly saying that Nachatasman manushyesu kaschin me priyakritamaha bhavita nachame tasman anyaha priyataro bhuvihi. So, no one else among human beings, no one else can become dearer to me. So here, in the last, in the 18th chapter, towards the end, Krishna is not saying that, me priyaga, like that. Krishna is not saying that. But Krishna is saying very clearly that Nachatasman Manushesu Kaschin me priya krittamaga. No one else become dearer to me. That's what Krishna is saying. In the 69th sloka, Krishna is saying that. Bhavita nachame tasmat anyaga priyataro bhuvi. In the future also no one else can become dearer to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be one more dear. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So, who is that? Who is that dearer to Krishna? No one else can become dearer to Krishna than him. Who is that? Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakte swabidashyati bhaktim mayi param kritva mame vesisi asamsaya. Anyone, if anyone who gives this knowledge to my devotees, so I guarantee devotional service unto them. So they will come to me, there is no doubt. So if we take this job of spreading Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's message to everyone, this should be every one of us job. We need to do, all of us. We cannot say that I'm busy with this, busy with that, working, all those things. That all can go in parallel. But we should become very, very busy in spreading Krishna's message, this Bhagavad Gita. Because that is the way no one else can become dearer to Krishna than us. So that means, of course, we want everybody to become dearer to Krishna, but this means our going to Krishna as well is guaranteed. So ourselves pleasing Krishna is very much guaranteed. Just by spreading this message, just by giving this knowledge to everyone. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is very, very important for us. It's very, very important for us to know, understand, follow, and it's very, very important for us to spread this message. Not only knowing ourselves and practicing, but we should also give this knowledge to everyone and make devotees everywhere. So, by Krishna's mercy, we are very fortunate that we are getting this knowledge. We will be able to spread this message. There is no doubt. So we studied 44 slokas in the 11th chapter. So as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, so in the 11th chapter, in the sloka number 44, so Arjuna is telling Krishna that you please forgive me like your father forgives son, like that. Tasmat pranamya pranidhi pranidaya kayam prasadaye tvam ahami samidyam piteva putrasya sakeva sakyuhu priyaha priyayargasi deva sodum priyaha priyayargasi deva sodum. So you are the Supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. I may have done you. So that's what Arjuna is asking Krishna. So you please tolerate. So next, in the next sloka, in the 48th sloka, now Arjuna is saying that, Arjuna is telling Krishna that, Adishta purvam Krishtosmi drishtva Bayena cha pravyatitam mano me prasid tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa. Adishta purvam Krishtosmi drishtva. Adrishta. Adrishta means very lucky. That's what we say, adrishta. So, in general, this word adrishtam is very much used, definitely in Tamil, but I believe in other languages also they are used. But adrishtam. Drishtam. Drishtam means what you can see, you have seen. Adrishtam means which you have not expected. So it just came. So adrishtam, if somebody gets something really great without even looking for it, so that is called adrishtam. So here Arjuna is saying that adrishta purva means which I have not seen before. Which one? The Viswarupa, Krishna's universal form, which I am seeing now. Krishtosmi Drishtva. So by seeing your universal form, I am very happy, which I have not seen before. So I'm very happy that I'm very glad that I'm able to see your universal form, which no one has seen. But Bhayena cha pravyatitam manome. But out of fear, my mind is perturbed. Pravyatitam manome. Manome means my mind. Manome, me mano. My mind is pravyatitam, is perturbed. My mind is perturbed. Tadeva me. So therefore, you show me your darshaya devarupam. You show me your devarupam, your divine form. So prasida devesa jagannivasa. Please show your mercy, O Devesa, O Lord of the Lords, O Jagannivasa, O refuge of this universe. So in this chapter, many times Arjuna has addressed Krishna's Devesa, Jagannivasa, like that many times. We have already seen this many times. Prasida Devesa Jagannivasa. So Adishta Purvam Krishtosmi Drishtva Bhayena cha Pravyatitam Manomi Tadeva me Darshaya Devarupam Prasida Devesa Jagannivasa. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened. But at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. O Lord of the Lords, O refuge of this universe, O abode of this universe. So that's what Arjuna is now praying to Krishna. So by Krishna's costless mercy, we have successfully finished 45 slokas in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. I'll stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.